for being here. My name is Veronica Murphy. I am the artistic director of Write Out Loud, and I wanted to let you know that the music that you heard when you were coming in, and you will hear it again on the way out, is composed by two of our students. They are both being recognized for special recognition for their compositions in performance, and their names are Athalia Miranda and Alice Lauer. Athalia's piece is called Flashbacks, and Alice's piece is called Foggy Future. And I just want to explain briefly, in case you don't know, that all of the pieces that you're going to see this evening have been created by students, middle through high school students, all inspired by the book, The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. So we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But before we do that, I would like to introduce my partner in Write Out Loud and in everything, the man who keeps me standing, Walter Ritter.
Much, and welcome to this events night of Read, Imagine, Create. I would like to remind everybody, I'm sure almost everybody, if not everybody, has received one of these as you came in. Would you be kind enough to fulfill these and then return them to the front desk as you depart or at any other time during the evening? Because it's something we would like to make sure gets done. Thank you. And I think back to my partner in all things, Veronica Murphy.
I just wanted to say this is a program that we launched about 10 years ago with funds from the National Endowment for the Arts for the NEA Big Read. And sometimes they give us money and sometimes they don't. And in this particular year, they did not give us any money, but we were able to get money from the County of San Diego Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund, directed by Nora Roberts, and also the San Diego Unified School Community Service Association, and many private donors. And that's how we were able to purchase books and distribute them to children, to students. Many students got their own individual copy. Some teachers chose to have a class copy. And so we're very grateful for those people that make this program possible. We also want to thank the San Diego Public Library. They have been our partner in this project since its onset 10 years ago. And Mark Cherry is the fabulous fellow that helps us make that partnership happen and has arranged this beautiful venue for us. So I love to acknowledge Mark. I also want to invite you all to visit the visual art. What you're going to see the most of this evening is performance art, media art, and literary art, because the visual art is big and cumbersome and it is not easy to display. You will see a few images on the screen, but we do have artwork displayed at the University Community Library. We will be having a little reception there on Monday the 2nd. It's the first Monday of May in the evening. And we also have artwork at El Cajon Library and also at the Mission Valley Library. Mission Valley's library artwork will be removed at the end of the month, and the other two libraries will have artwork there until the middle of May. So if you have a chance, I really encourage you to go and see. The kids have created some amazing things. I also need to say a gigantic thank you to the educational coordinator of Write Out Loud, without whom none of this would really happen, Rachel Van Wormer, and she's standing in the back. We're also very grateful to our sound and audio and live stream guy who makes this go out so that all of your families that can't be here can view it, and it will be recorded and left on our YouTube website. So if you have people that would like to see it and they can't be here, that will be available. That's Kevin Athanel. He's in the back. And and now let's get going. I would like to introduce the two readers that are going to be with us this evening, reading sometimes full pieces and sometimes excerpts of works that have been written by students, and they will introduce each piece as they come up through the evening. That is Stephen Lone and Sandra Ruiz, and you're going to love them. So, are you guys ready? Okay, I think we are starting with The Longing of the Heart.
This received special recognition in literary arts. The Longing of the Heart by Eliot S. Gonzalez. The cold sea breeze of Ireland blows. It travels through paths rarely seen. It calls to my heart, one that longs to go to the home that it has never been. The longing of the heart does grow, a connection of blood that calls and binds my heart with chains of woe forever to be within its thralls. That siren song that hails to me, though we are many a league apart, travels through wind across the sea and touches the longing of the heart. Those songs of old and history have been sung too many a time. It is not them I long to see. I long for more than song or rhyme. That longing which I know to be, the distance from those green meadows, is ever present inside of me. And every day it grows and grows. Heavily on me it does weigh, the ache and pain within my heart. As such I wait to see the day my longing does deign to depart.
They are the only ones who understand me. I am the only one who understands them. 4 skinny trees with skinny necks and pointy elbows like mine. 4 who do not belong, but are here. 4 raggedy excuse planted by the city. From our room, we can hear them, but Nenny just sleeps and doesn't appreciate these things. Their strength is secret. They send ferocious roots beneath the ground. They grow up and they go down. They grab the earth between their hairy toes and bite the sky with violent teeth and never quit their anger. This is how they keep. Let one forget the reason for his being. They all droop like tulips in a glass, each with their arms around the other. Keep, 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 tree says when I sleep. They teach. When I am too sad and too skinny to keep keeping, when I am a tiny thing against so many bricks, then it is I look at trees. When there is nothing left to look on the street, 4 who grew despite concrete, 4 who reach and do not forget to reach, 4 whose only reason is to be and be.
This is the 3rd place winner in literary arts, an excerpt from To Create a Ghost, a short story by Thomas Sattler. Why can't the small see tall? There's a certain bliss in being naive. There's a blessing in being young and unaware. Children can often be blind to the world around them. They can't perceive the world around them in the same way an adult can. The world is so new with every crook and nanny to explore, while for the grown-ups, they've already seen everything. I mean, all those secrets are already explored. They already know which crooks are good, which nannies are bad. This is why they teach. This is why adults around us give warnings of where and where not to go. The little ones don't stand tall enough to see eye to eye with the big ones, though. White eye. None of us even knew his name was Gregory until he introduced himself. He was a black kid who said his family moved to our town all the way from New York City to live in the big blue house on Miller and Peach. He claimed that the house used to belong to his family, more specifically, his grandparents from his father's side. None of us knew that the house was ever occupied by anybody. There were some local legends that the house was possessed by some ghosts that a witch conjured all the way back in the 1880s. Of course, no one had any evidence to support the legend, but as kids are kids, we believed the legend. At least most of us did, until Gregory told us about the family's claim to the house. Most of my friends teased him that his grandmother was the very witch of the house. But he, to our surprise, laughed it off. Perhaps it was because he was older than the rest of us, wise enough to understand that there were no spirits or any witches in that big blue house on Miller and Peach. He was the tallest of us all, around 4'9", with some big feet and pretty impressively long arms. Of course, his defining feature was the entire left side of his head. See, Gregory told us that he was completely blind in that eye and completely deaf in that ear. That, he said, is why he didn't notice me approaching him from behind the day that I found him. Again, much of our group made fun of him for it, but it was all playful teasing and legitimate questions about how he could live with such a hindrance. Gregory wasn't very offended at all, was fully aware of what to expect when he came around new kids. Most of us began to call him Ghost Eye or White Eye, which he said in his words were pretty sweet. Gregory got a lot more comfortable hanging out with other people the more time he spent with us. We all got along fairly well, although Susie was bossy as normal. For some reason, she was always far more bossy towards Gregory than any of the rest of us, even though he was older than all of us. He went along with it, although most of us didn't see why. Lucy, another girl in the group, assumed it was because Susie's family came from Kentucky, thinking it was because people like us down there didn't like people like him. Although she said it was mostly just some assumptions told to her by her parents not long after Gregory joined the group. Other than that, we got together swimmingly. None of us cared that he was a black boy playing in a group of mostly white children. None of us cared if his entire left side of his face was completely functionless. All we cared about was that he was a good friend, and that's what he delivered.
Oh boy, I can't wait to move into my new neighborhood. So many houses. A lot of people must live here. I'm very excited to meet them. Is that a party? I can't wait to see if they'd let me join. Everyone here is a mango for some reason. I don't mind. But what am I thinking? I'm just an egg and they're mangoes. They'd never let me in. I guess it's too late trying to do so. Days went past, and Alberto Eggy kept constantly fearing that he would be left out of his neighborhood because he was not like them, and that he was an egg, and they were mangoes. What am I gonna do? I don't have any friends to hang out with now.
Well, maybe you should try talking to the mango people, and maybe they might accept you and be their friend.
Now don't listen to him. He's just going to make them hate you. I don't know which decision to make, guys. Give them a chance? Wait, that's a great idea. I'm gonna try that out.
Hola, amigo. You seem new around here. What can I do for you today?
I've actually been here for a while now, and I've been worried to ask, but can I join your parties?
Of course, amigo. Why didn't you ask us earlier before?
Hello. This piece receives special recognition in literary arts. My Universe, The Process of Finding Your Identity and How I View It, by Hanali Dashiko. What do you think of when you hear or see the word identity? Identity is something some of us can't identify. The rush of shame that you can't even see yourself. All your visions point to is a cold, bitter alleyway of questions. Is this really me? How do others see me? Who really are you? You swallow the cold dryness of this feeling, constantly trying to find a version of yourself that you're satisfied with. All you do is switch, switch, switch. The expectations and standards grow every time you take a step forward, a never-ending race, always losing. You look in the mirror. All you see is a dark shadow reflection, just so unworthy, weak. Just so up and down and faint, it's like a dizzy feeling. I can't look at myself no more. I can no longer stare into that alleyway. I can no longer continue looking into my shameless pit of being unrecognized by my own self. I'm like a hopeless piece of metal, cold, rough, rusty, empty, and dull. But I'll wait for a while. The more time I spend around myself, I learn and realize who I really am, the kind of person I want to become. Small pieces of me start to come back, a magnetic connection that happens in the blink of an eye. I feel more steady now. I waited. I was there for myself. I'm suddenly blooming into something new. The smell of joy rushes over me. It feels like a cold fire. I'm not afraid of myself anymore. I'm being fixed, repaired, renewed, relieved. One more breath, and I'm forming a rocket ship. All the heavy weight on my shoulders has lifted. My progress launches high, up high into space. The high expectations froze in time. Space is my place. I make my own rules, expectations, and boundaries. All the stars are my mistakes. They bloomed into reflections. My dear planets, the things about myself that I think are unique. My planets represent my vision of my family, future, and myself. All giant memories I store in my little jar called my universe. My universe is me. Oh, my dear universe that I love. I see myself as a growing galaxy. I now prioritize myself instead of being closed in between two giant walls. I'm comfortable now. I feel complete. I love my galaxy. I love myself. In identity represents personal growth and strengths, something that defines who you are. I'm not stuck anymore. I exited this endless suffering and turned it into an everlasting galaxy.
So next we're going to be viewing some of the visual art and presenting the awards, and I'm trying to figure out how's the best way to do this. So Walter is going to be reading names of students who are being recognized as special recognition for visual art. And when you hear your name, if you would please come and stand in front of the stage. And then after we've seen all the art, we'll invite you to come up, and you can stand up here in a row so that Walter can give you your certificates.
To begin? Okay. Angelsena Amadi. Sorry if I'm mangling any names. I'm doing the best I can. Anush Avakian. Mia Banerjee. Get out of your way. Carolina Beza. Brianna de Guzman. Grayson Chirco. Maya Verde Eisman. Drexel Fredrickson. John Maverick Garcia. Stav Jensel. Olivia Good. Summer Grant. Jaden Johnson. Tegan Coranda. Sawyer Landry. Rania Latif. Jasmine Lim. Laura Lorenzana. Axel Magnuson. Martine Ojeda. Diana Malena Perez. Judah Presley. Ella Roberts. Jan Christoph Ruiz. Chloe Shin. Grayson Svirko. Thomas Steinberg. And Scarlett Stewart.
Your name.
Just come
so
on
he
up the
can-
steps.
So he can, because we want everyone to be able to see you. And
Right.
I do apologize
What's your name?
for the mix-up with the names and the images and the sideways and the.
Because it's an E, not a C.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just go on. Manage Mia.
Yeah, just keep walking down there. Otherwise, you're going to be standing there forever. And Jasmine, can we have you walk down in front so that the other folks can come up? While we're waiting for Walter to give these awards out, I would like to say that we had more student entries this year than we have ever had in any of our 10 years. We had almost 800 students submit entries, and visual art is the largest category that we have. So you guys are, I'm telling you, these judges that we have, they are really amazing. They're all professional artists, and they just get so excited when they see this artwork. They get so excited about the way the kids express themselves and what they bring from the book and use from their own personal experience tied with the literature to create something. Thank you so much for all of your beautiful work, and I think we should. Thank you all so much. If you can find your seats so that we can carry on. One of the best things about my job is that I actually get to have my hands on every single piece that comes in, whether it's visual or media or literature, and it's very exciting. So next we have a reading, yes?
The Cordero by Sydney Eiskamp and Eleanor Chang. Papa. Hi, I'm George. I live on Mango Street with my wife Ruthie and my 4 children, Esperanza, Neni, Carlos, and Kiki. We moved here because we don't have as much money for the kids as we need. It's hard providing for a 6-person family, but I work my butt off every single day. I bought this house because it was the best I could do. I even got enough money to buy a fridge. We only have 1 bathroom, so the kids have to share. I feel really bad, but they assure me that everything is great. I trust them and love them, but I can't help longing for something better every day. I know that if I work harder, maybe, just maybe, they can be happy. My favorite part of the day is nighttime, because it is the one time I can relax. We have to share the bedroom, but as soon as I get enough money, I will buy bunk beds to make more space. I will definitely look into buying more food too, because even though Ruthie is a wonderful cook, she sometimes doesn't have the right ingredients. I've done my job enough so I can spend more time with my family. On Saturdays, Carlos and I go to the market together. It is fun. He says he enjoys it. Talking with family can't always be easy, though. I still remember the look on Esperanza's face when I told her that her abuela was dead. I cried. She had never seen me cry.
Prize winners in visual art, Keigo Yoshinaga.
Just him. Just him.
Just him. Come on.
I would like to say about this piece, which you saw sideways. I'm very sorry about that. The judges were so excited about. In the story, there's a music box, and it has these things that come out of it, and they were very impressed with your idea about what that really meant when the music comes out and what that really creates in the feeling. And so, I just wanted you to know that that was something very special for them. Thank you.
And so when do you want me to say the next one?
Yes. Of you. I want you all to realize these are all tiny little paper cutouts. Each section, like the hands are one, and the shirt is another, and the cactus is another, and the pot is another, and it's all in this beautiful box. And all of the judges went crazy over this one. And Ethan's. And I'm so sorry, you just cannot appreciate what this really is. This bicycle that takes place in the story is made, well, I don't know how you made it. It's really amazing. But it's clay or something on wire, right? Yes. And he made it so that if you just touch the whole base of it, the bicycle jiggles like this, because that's what was happening in the story. The girls are all on the bicycle and it's all wobbly. And so he made sure, if you go see this at the University Community Library, you'll see it in person, and you can't touch it and make it move. But if you could, you would see that this bicycle jiggles. So again, very exciting piece. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Can you come? Actually lucky enough to see the beginning of this piece. Bella was in a workshop at Southwest High School, and Mario Torres, the teacher there, was teaching them about using limited color palette, and she really got it. Go stand in front so they can get your picture. And I think, if I'm not wrong, the reason is this is about a girl's having her first job that turns out not to be so great. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you so much, Bella. It's a beautiful piece. Oops.
Butterflies too are few and so are flowers. Sky. A Sandra Cisneros retelling. You can never have too much sky. You can fall asleep and wake up drunk on sky. And sky can keep you safe when you are sad. Here, there is too much sadness and not enough sky. Butterflies too are few and so are flowers and most things that are beautiful. Still, we take what we can get and make the best of it.
So the next award that we give is the award that I pick. The first year we did this, we looked at all these amazing things the kids had made, and we said, we can't possibly judge these things. So we asked people that were professional in the various areas to help us. But when they were all done, I was like, you know, sometimes there's just something that really gets to me. And this year, it's really funny. I grew up playing games with my grandmother, and it was sort of a wonderful place to be, and she let us stay up really late at night playing games with her. And I'm sorry, if you go to the library, you can see this up close at Mission Valley. That's right, yeah, that's where it is, Mission Valley. This is a game about the house on Mango Street, created by a young man. I think he might be 11, but it is an exquisite game. Alexander Innamorato, receives the Artistic Director's Choice Award. There you go, Alexander. And can you stand in front of it so your people can get the pictures? I want you to know that these little people you see here, they're really like this, and they're almost clear, except that they're painted or shrunk, or I don't know. All the different pieces, they're so precision made, and it's just the whole idea of playing the game seemed so interesting to me that I had to pick it. Thank you, Alexander.
This piece is a second place winner in literary arts. Excerpts from Memories of Winchester Street by Liliana Mendez. Medicines in pink little boxes. Once you've smelled sickness, you can smell it anywhere you go. It lingers on you like a leech to your skin. It is the smell of someone slowly losing their life in front of you. It is the smell of plastic pink boxes that holds tubes and vials. It is the smell of dry shampoo and closed curtains. You can smell when someone is dying, just like you smell the popcorn at the theater. It is engulfing. Little pink plastic boxes hold my worst fears. Fears of pink rooms, fears of dusty beds, and fears of lifeless limbs. Tiny green spheres. I once knew an ice cream man. He was the sweetest guy. His harmony and ice cream truck always alarmed the neighborhood kids, the ones who would play chalk on the sidewalk and jump in the water sprinklers, the ones who would draw with plucked off ice plant when the chalk wasn't near because ripped ice plant leaves a snail trail. The song would come up from the corners and a stamp would come running, and the parents and grandparents would say, "Get my wallet." My ice cream man knew my favorite ice cream by heart. Tiny, bright green spheres in a bright green cone. The ice cream man watched me grow up, and in return, I guess I too watched me grow up. Every time I yelled, "Stop!" But it wasn't until my ice cream man said my tiny green little spheres were no more that I finally realized. Tuna cans and golf balls. Tuna cans, cat cans, chicken cans, sardine cans, we don't care. We'll take them all. We'll clean them thoroughly. We'll collect towers of cans and ideas as strategic courses. We'll buy flags to mark the grounds. We'll buy golf balls and golf clubs and use them in the most unprofessional ways. Yep. Step right up to Nana's own personal golf course where tuna cans just buried right enough will capture your golf ball. Can you make it through the weeds and cat? How about up the hill where the dirt is hard as clay? So even if you do manage to hit the can is not tucked in all the way, and your golf ball will slide down the hill, defeated again. Can you take our golf course? The golf course tucked in the backyard of a blue house where time felt infinite. Stolen memories. I've always loved yard sales, old junk thrown away without a second thought. Many people wouldn't dare to set foot in a thrift store. Too much junk that deserved to be thrown away, not given a second chance. But they're wrong. You can find the most angelic things in thrift stores. Teapots, bags, porcelain dolls, and sometimes you can even find someone's memories. You find a baseball marked with old Sharpie scars, Tommy's first home catch, and you stare at it for a very long time, and you start to cry. You cry for Tommy because maybe he's all grown up now and he's forgotten about his first catch. Or maybe you cry because Tommy's parents died now and their house got sold, and so did all their precious memories. Or maybe you just cry because you fear that one day your precious little junk and memories will all be sold, labeled as trash by other people too.
People who live on the hills. People who live on the hills sleep so close to the stars, they forget those of us who live too much on earth. They don't look down at all except to be content to live on hills. They have nothing to do with last week's garbage or fear of rats. Night comes. Nothing wakes them but the wind. One day, I'll own my own house, but I won't forget who I am or where I came from.
Recognition in literary arts. Not a House, but a Home by Emma Yang. Home. A tall Carmel house flanked by an ocean of trees rests on the dirt ground, tiny gray pebbles scattered in the garden of memories. Home, the green parlor palm surrounded by paper white walls stands on the marble floor. The rhythmic humming of the oven fills the air with a scent of fresh bread that floats through the silent house. Home, a sound, a structure, a comfort, a word, a place, a memory. Home, a place that I can only dream of. This piece received special recognition in literary arts. The Face of Friendship by Tischendor. Loneliness, filling empty spaces in the mind, attacking, rendering its host near blind. Floating all alone in a galaxy afar, with not a light around, not even a star. Suddenly, a glowing hope on the horizon has begun, growing nearer and near, bringing light of the sun. An act of kindness, a friendship to share, a hope, a dream, a chance made aware. No longer alone in this vast empty space, orbiting another in a gravitational embrace. The tears once fallen, only memories of the past, every challenge embraced and always surpassed. With all hands and hearts joined in a tether, nothing is stronger than us all together. Remember, we are not alone in this world. Uniting will allow our happiness to be unfurled. Whenever you come upon someone in need, open your heart to let them be freed.
Let's start by clicking on the file. There we go. House on Mango Street. How I envision all of Sandra Cisneros' houses combined. We have to click on all the broken parts of the house to find some themes from the book that I enjoyed. Let's start by clicking on the stairs. There we go. Broken stairs. Here's a poem that fits broken stairs from the chapter, Our Good Day. The poem. Friendship is what everyone needs. There are different stairs there, but they all succeed in getting the person what they need. Friends. The stairs must be taken, no matter in what condition they are in. That's the poem for stairs, and now let's go back. There we are. Now we're back. Time to move on. Let's click on the door, as it's also broken. The broken door. Here's a poem that fits a broken door from the chapter, Boys and Girls. The poem. Responsibility. It's something that's often very heavy. It can be a heavy burden, just like a door is responsible for letting people inside of their homes. It seems so simple, but it's the same with people. Doors can break with such simple weights, so why can't us individuals? Now that we're done with the poem, let's go back. There we are. Now it's time to move on to the next poem. Let's move on to the peeling wallpaper. And there. Peeling wallpaper. Here's a poem that fits peeling wallpaper from the chapter The Three Sisters. The poem. Covering up our past is what we often do. What we do not understand is that your past will always stay with you. Just like peeling wallpaper, your past will start to show, no matter how hard you try. That is what we all should know. Okay, let's go back now. Moving on.
This received special recognition in literary arts, an edited excerpt of La Esperanza de mi Abuelo by Alexander Kefalopoulos. I'm sorry if I butchered that last name. The theme of Hispanic immigration in the house on Mango Street inspired me to research my own family history of immigration, that of my maternal grandfather, Carlos Perez, and his experience of immigration from the island of Puerto Rico in the South Bronx of New York City at the age of 11. I've grown up hearing stories of how my grandfather persevered through poverty and inopportunity to become a respected medical doctor, raising my mother and 3 other children in a largely privileged environment, sending them to the private and Ivy League schools, and living in a large home in the suburbs of New York City. My only reference for imagining this world my grandfather lived in would be the movie and play West Side Story and the literary novel The House on Mango Street. What I found was that my grandfather's memories of his experience were very different than I had imagined. The following is a summary of an interview I conducted with my now 83-year-old grandfather regarding his experience. My grandfather was born in the city of Ponce, on the island of Puerto Rico in 1939. When my grandfather was a little boy, Puerto Rico was undergoing a significant transition from agriculture to a manufacturing economy, leaving many people without job opportunities. On April 19, 1952, my grandpa and his family flew from San Juan to Idlewild Airport, which was later renamed Kennedy Airport in 1963. There, he was told, would be greater opportunities. My grandpa recalled, "That day was burnt into my memory. There was so much excitement in the air." When I asked if he was scared to be out of place in this new city, he said, "Not at all. The area we moved to was mostly Puerto Rican. You could speak Spanish in the streets and to the shop owners." He told me that my grandmother had a brother and several sisters who were already living in the area. He describes feeling at home. Surprisingly, he remembers the Bronx as being a safe place to grow up, saying the neighbors were all small families working hard and encouraging their children in school, and he does not describe any crime or violence in or around his neighborhood. He also said he knew of no gangs and was surprised to see Puerto Ricans portrayed as gang members in the movies. He began middle school at PS 52, which was about an 8-block walk from his home. In his first year, he and his siblings were placed in a bilingual class and transitioned to full English class work the following year. After just 1 year, he told me he spoke English to his teachers, and even his siblings and parents became English speakers soon thereafter. His apartment was flanked by a German deli in which the owner lived behind the storefront and a Chinese laundry. He recounts spending a lot of time with the owner of a Chinese laundry, Henry Yip, who he considered a good friend. He recalls many conversations about politics with Henry, comparing their experiences. I asked my grandfather if there were other ethnic communities that resisted this influx of Puerto Ricans, and he doesn't remember racism being a big influence on his life. He remembers Italian and Irish families relocating away, but he doesn't recall feeling marginalized or victimized. He says he became part of his community seamlessly. I asked if he was poor. He said, "We were poor, but we never lived poorly."
Special recognition in media, Colvin Davis. Lancelot Devine. Christian Leon. Jason Weistrop. Finley White. And Dylan Whitney. Would you like to come up here? Colvin? No. Which are you?
Lancelot.
Oh, here you are, Lance. Colvin, what's your name?
I'm Colvin.
Oh, Colvin, there you are. Your name?
Christian.
You are?
And I know that, good job. Unfortunately, we were not able to show all of the special recognition media pieces, nor read all of the special recognition literary pieces, nor show all of the special recognition performance pieces. But what we're going to do right now, and this is not in your program, we are going to slip in one more literary reading that, Sandra, or who's reading Carlos? Oh, it's not in your program, so who could keep track?
Carlos by Grace Waters. Oh, how much I've seen. Oh, how long I've been there through all your dreadful days. Oh, how many times I've cleared the floods flowing from your glassy eyes. From the first day we locked eyes, I knew I was home. Never did I know how horrible home could be. First day I was with you, I stood by your side during surgery. Coming home after, I knew you survived, and I was on top of the world. I was the most joyous bear I could be. Smile as wide as a butterfly in spring, yet nobody could see. Still, as I sat, taken aback at how a mother could treat her kids like that. Every night, you held me tight, told me everything you didn't think was right. How much I wished I could give you a hug and tell you everything will be all right. Will everything be all right? Will I, one night, be able to bid you good night with a smile, content and bright? Waiting up here on my shelf, Carlos, the teddy bear. What could I possibly do to help? In these moments, I look down wondering what would ensue this time. You stopped crying years ago, but I can still see the regret and sorrow strewn across your face. Now, almost without emotion, you swoop me up and bring me to the place where we can see for miles, the place where you can finally breathe again. Now, at the top, you perch with me, telling me what went wrong, telling me how you could have done better. I sit and listen. My black marble eyes find the horizon. This can't be home. There's more, and I'll find it. You always talk about finding home. I know it's out there. We'll find it, Carlos, together, you whispered. We stay here tonight, peacefully looking at the stars till sleep engulfs us both.
Third place in media arts, Zara Rida. Jack Riley. Aaron Chahal. Morgan Newkirk. Come on up.
Those last two are second.
Second place in media arts. Thank you, Aaron. All those poems you wrote besides. That's pretty great. Are you with us, Kevin?
I don't remember when I first noticed him looking at me, but I knew he was looking every time. All the time I walked past his house, him and his friends sitting on their bikes in front of the house, pitching pennies. They didn't scare me. They did, but I wouldn't let them know. I don't cross the street like other girls. Straight ahead, straight eyes. I walked past. I knew he was looking. I had to prove to me I wasn't scared of nobody's eyes, not even his. I had to look back hard just once, like he was glass, and I did. I did once. But I looked too long when he rode his bike past me. I looked because I wanted to be brave, straight into the dusty cat fur of his eyes, and the bike stopped. And he bumped into a parked car. Bumped, and I walked fast. It made your blood freeze to have somebody look at you like that. Somebody looked at me. Somebody looked. But his kind, his ways, he is a punk, Papa says. And Mama says not to talk to him. And then his girlfriend came. Lois, I heard him call her. She is tiny and pretty and smells like baby skin. I see her sometimes running to the store for him, and once she was standing next to me at Mr. Benny's grocery. She was barefoot, and I saw her barefoot baby toenails all painted pale pink, like little pink seashells, and she smells pink like babies do. She's got big girl hands, and her bones are long like ladies' bones. And she wears makeup too. But she doesn't know how to tie her shoes. I do. Sometimes I hear them laughing late, beer cans, and cats. The trees talking to themselves. Wait, wait, wait. Sire lets Lois ride his bike around the block, or they take walks together. I watch them. She holds his hand, and he stops sometimes to tie her shoes. But Mama says those kinds of girls, those girls are the ones that go into alleys. Lois, who can't tie her shoes, where does he take her? Everything is holding its breath inside me. Everything is waiting to explode like Christmas. I want to be all new and shiny. I want to sit out bad at night, a boy around my neck, in the wind under my skirt. Not this way, every evening, talking to the trees, leaning out my window, imagining what I can't see. A boy held me once so hard, I swear. I felt the grip and weight of his arms, but it was a dream. Sire, how did you hold her? Was it like this? And when you kissed her, like this?
So before we read the first place in literary arts, we are going to give out the special recognition prizes for literary arts. Oh, we didn't do performance? I'm all off track. So let's do performance.
All right. Performance art, Anna Chumakova. Donovan Fulcher. Nia Kummerly. Alice Lauer. Athalia Miranda. Anna? Nia? Alrighty, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It really breaks my heart that you don't get to see all these pieces that they created because they're really wonderful. Music and flamenco dancing and all kinds of great things. And so now, I think, oh, Noah. Hold on. What do we have? What am I missing? Oh, we haven't shown that yet? Well, thank you for keeping me on track, Kevin.
Those Who Don't by Sandra. Those who don't know any better come into our neighborhood scared. They think we are dangerous. They think we'll attack them with shiny knives. They are stupid people who are lost and got here by mistake. But we aren't afraid. We know the guy with the crooked eye is Davy, the baby's brother. And the tall one next to him in the straw brim, that's Rose's Eddie V. And the big one that looks like a dumb grown man, he's Fat Boy. Though he's not fat anymore, nor a boy. All brown, all around, we are safe. But watch us drive into a neighborhood of another color, and our knees go shakety shake. and our car windows get rolled up tight and our eyes look straight. Yeah, that's how it goes and goes.
Second prize in performance art, Elizabeth Aguilar. No? Okay.
All right. So Noah, can you come up? He's going to need to get back there. He's going to need to get.
In her house of dreams, not what she wanted or expected. She's looking up to see a better place to be. She doesn't fit in, she fits out. Bad deck of cards, but she doesn't pout. She sees a changing world. The darkness starts to loom in. People brought here, stuck here, trapped inside this neighborhood. She won't forget where she came from. She'll come back for those who cannot escape. Consumed by darkness, she's desperate to get away. She can't bear to think about coming back again. She forgets where she came from. She loses pride in her roots. But then she remembered what she was told to do. She must use her gift to free others from Mango Street. This stronghold is dark, but Esperanza is bright. She guides away from darkness and leads to light. In her house of dreams, not what she wanted or expected. She's looking up to see a better place to be. She made it out, but she'll be back to get Mango Street back on track.
So first prize in performance. Thank you so much, Noah. Noah composed the music and lyrics for that and recorded the other part, and you got to have some live performance tonight. Thank you.
Mateo here. I don't think I called your name. even if you're not here. Guess not.
Rosario is the winner of third prize in performance art. And oh, she lives in Escondido.
Oh.
So maybe she's watching from home. I certainly hope so. Now, back to where I was when I was in the wrong place. Before we hear the final literary piece of the evening, which is the first prize in literary arts, we will give out the special recognition for literary.
Allison Aguilar. Eleanor Cheng. Hanali DeChico. Sydney Eiskamp. Eliot Gonzalez. Taylor Hawes. Alexander Kefalopoulos. Caitlin Lee. Brianna Rangel. Sylvia Rodriguez. Thea Rowland. Lily Tischendor. Grace Waters. Emma Yang. And Emma Zinser. Congratulations.
While Walter's finishing up, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all the teachers that we work with. They are the ones who inspire these kids, provide the opportunity for them to read this book and bring workshops into their classrooms or just do workshops on their own so that the kids can create something magical. Can you kind of squeeze up? Can you guys kind of squeeze up so they can get a really good picture? There we go. Thank you. Look at all these budding writers. Okay, thank you, sweetie.
This poem won first place in the literary arts category. Belonging, Seen Through My New Eyes by Mila Coley. I wish I was home right now. I felt like I belonged somewhere. I don't want to be over here. I feel so alone when I'm not home. Standing here, watching these people go by, everyone has someone to stand by. They make me want to cry. If only my mom were with me so she could sing me a lullaby. I know I'm a grown woman now, living on my own now, but I'd give anything to be at home right now. Looking at my feet, I'm starting to sink, trying to make myself steady, but I'm feeling so heavy. Mama, look at me. I need your help. I can feel myself starting to melt. I'm still standing here between all these people, feeling really woozy, like I had too much booze while watching a movie. I'm also quite nauseous, so I need to be real cautious. What would Mama say? No, what would Daddy say? I know it sounds like I forget you, Dad. It's always Mama this, Mama that, but Daddy, I love you too. I know you were right. I wish you had lied, but you always tell the truth. You said I wasn't ready, that I shouldn't go out into this big blue world, but I made up my own mind. I wanted to fly out of that old home, so I said my goodbyes. I made a mistake, like you said I would make. I think I'm going to break. I need someone's help. I think I'm in hell. Please come pull me out. The demons got control of me, making me so lonely. I need to flip the script. I need to see things from a different perspective. I need not see what is negative, but see what is positive. Maybe I can stand up right and stop being super sensitive. All these feelings, they're washing away like they were never here in the first place. I'm back here standing in this crowd feeling so happy. I'm walking down the sidewalk like nothing else matters. Everyone looking at me, God, I feel so flattered. I see those kids drawing with chalk. Reminds me of my home and my old flock, of friends, of family speaking Spanish like nothing. My friends started joking, singing Doc McStuffin. I'm walking around feeling so proud of how I turned my whole view upside down. Sitting by an oak tree like the one my cousin got broke. He tried to win it, and when he did it, he broke both arms, and I'd admit I laughed a snippet. I'm having all these memories. They're coming like a melody. I'm starting to realize that I cannot run away from my problems. Problems, what a funny thing, problems. Everybody has them, but they're sick of other people with the same problems. But instead of dissing them, they should start listening, helping families out without being a hypocrite. Every home has a problem, but that's where they belong. And that's what life's about. Finding home wherever we go, problems and all, because we will always belong.
Third place winner in literary arts, Thomas Sattler. Congratulations. Thank you.
Prize, and the first, sorry, did I say that wrong? And the first place winner gets a $100 prize.
And the second place winner in literary arts is Liliana Mendez. Don't rush. Here you are. Congratulations.
Again, I would like to say, I'm so sorry you don't get to hear the entire pieces. Some of them are really long, but they're so clever and so beautifully put together, and we're so excited that we get to encourage these young people.
Mm-hmm. The first place winner in literary arts, Mila Coley. Are you here, Mila?
She's coming.
Oh, there you are. Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very
Mama.
much.
I hope you writers will all keep writing. It's very exciting. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you to the parents for encouraging your young people. Thank you to the teachers for encouraging all these young people. Thank you to the library and all the people that gave money so that this program is possible. And, one more quick thing. If you have a student and they end up in a classroom next year where their teacher is not participating, that does not mean they cannot participate. Our book next year is called The Bear. It is by Andrew Krivek, and it is about the last two people in the world, or on the earth, and it is a man and his daughter, and it's all about their relationship and their connection to the earth and how he is teaching her to survive. It's a fabulous book, and I'm very excited about it. So, again, if your student's teacher is not involved, that doesn't mean your student cannot be involved. Thank you again so much for being here.
Please turn in your survey questionnaires as you exit.